The Ducks of Anaheim arrive in town to tangle with the Maple Leafs. And the starting lineup brought to you by Molson, the official beer sponsor of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Anthony Stolarz, fresh off an outstanding effort in New Jersey, goes back-to-back for the Maple Leafs. He's 9-5-2 on 2.13 goals against average and a league-leading .928 save percentage. Lucas Dostal will start for Anaheim. He's 6-7-3, 2.67 his goals against average, but a very respectable .921 save percentage for the Ducks goaltender. The Leafs start the Matthews line, and we're ready to go as the puck is dropped, and the Leafs gather the puck up and send it in, and it is Jake McCabe, fresh off the injured list, to get it into the zone. Ducks get it out into center ice now, and it'll be shot into the Toronto end. Stolarz stopping the puck back at the net, tried to play it into the corner for Marner. Marner's pass was batted up on the wing, bouncing to the line and kept in there by Troy Terry. The Leafs will get it up on the boards, and now Matthews works back in his own zone. Got it to Tanev as the Leafs are going to change. Tanev is around back of the net. He gets it up to his defense partner, and McCabe skates to the red line and sends it down into the zone. Puck into the corner as Tavares goes in there after it. It bounces away from his man, and Pacioretty couldn't come up with it. And it is Brett Leeson getting it to center and in on the left wing now for Anaheim, and an angle shot that is swallowed up by Stolarz and held for a face-off in the Toronto zone. The face-off in the Leaf zone brought to you by Alpine Credits. You own your own home and need a loan, Alpine Credits can help. Get approved at alpinecredits.ca.
Now we can talk about Anthony Stolarz and the great game that he played against New Jersey a couple of nights ago. Guy at the other end of the ice last January had a pretty good game against the Leafs, Joe. 57 shots. And you remembered, Leafs scored late to tie it. John Tavares scored with about 5 minutes to go in regulation, and then Austin Matthews won it in overtime. But the Leafs had outshot the Ducks in that game 57-28. So fortunately for Anthony Stolarz, he was eventually rewarded at the other end. But Lucas Dostal in goal for the Ducks tonight.
Happen, does it? No. That great performance is gone for naught. Played around the boards. Pacioretty deflection, but it comes out in front. Shot, stop, rebound. Is knocked wide of the Leaf goal. Tavares trying to play it high to center ice, and Pacioretty will get it into the zone, but the Ducks are back to recover it. The Leafs have got to try to have a better first period than they've had in recent games, and they've started here with 2 shots against as the Ducks go back to regroup now at their own blue line. Played off on the far side by Trouba. Jacob Trouba, the newest acquisition, and now a shoot-in has gone awry and gone up into the screen and out of play.
So you've got a team that has struggled to make the postseason for a number of years now. You got a team that played last night in Ottawa against the Senators. You're pretty much out of excuses not to have a decent start or a decent game. And let's face it, it's really been a couple of weeks since the Leafs have played a complete 60-minute game.
Played down into the area back of the Leaf goal once more. Minton trying to play it up on the wing for Domi. That was knocked away. Domi gets it to the line, but not out. Long shot deflects back of the Toronto goal. Riley will push it along the wall, and it is chipped high to center ice. Trouba will block that. Get it off on the left wing, and it is fired right back in again by Minchukov as the Leafs go back into their own zone. They've not been in the Anaheim end of the rink yet to get a shot on goal. Puck in the center ice area once more. Jackson goes back into his own zone. Got it over for Radko Gudas, who plays it down into the Toronto end. Playing it around the boards on the far side, except when he decides to dismember somebody with a body check. And we're going to get an icing here against Toronto. He's the guy that you hate but would love to have, isn't he?
Well, a lot of people will remember a overtime goal by Nick Cousins that eliminated the Leafs in the second round against the Florida Panthers. Radko Gudas in the picture holding the stick of a Leaf player while screaming into the face of Joseph Wall after it had gone in. So yeah, that's at this point you're still The guy you want to hate.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yep.
And you're right, though. He was a warrior.
And the best example I have how much I hated Darcy Tucker. Hated Darcy Tucker.
Until. Yeah. Where do we get one of those?
Yeah, where do we get one of those? And how much does it cost? Because I'm all in. Played off the boards and into the Anaheim zone, and another icing call here against Toronto. And the first 3 minutes of this period are rather reminiscent of the first period the other night when the Leafs mustered just one shot on goal in New Jersey.
For Anthony Stolarz, it's the first time he's played back-to-back games since November 3rd to the 8th when he had 3 consecutive starts. And in those 3 starts, gave up 3 goals, which included a shutout over the Boston Bruins here at home.
Here's a giveaway, and Matthews in with a drop pass instead of backhanding. Then Marner with a shot, and it went just wide of the goal, and the Leafs from almost nothing end up getting a couple of decent scoring chances, and now trying to make a pass was Tanev, and it was blocked. It comes to the near wing. Marner getting it freed up now for McCabe. Up ahead for Matthews. On the left wing, closing and shooting. And a stick save made by Dostal. Now along the boards, it's out at center ice. And that's the thing about this Leaf team. They can be almost dopey as far as sitting back and all of a sudden, boom! And they have the ability on the attack, and Matthews is the key part of that.
It didn't look like he got a lot on this one either, did it, Joe? Coming in, tries to go 5-hole on it. But I would say, especially watching live, that shot doesn't quite have the same zip it did a year ago.
Brought on now by Marner, who drops it for Nylander. He closes. That shot was blocked. The rebound. Pacioretty on the far side took his man out. Then Nylander was tripped, but neither of the officials seemed to see that. So it is brought out at center ice now by the Ducks and flipped into the Toronto zone by Ryan Strome. Round the boards, it'll come back to the point. Shot by Trouba was deflected wide of the Leaf cage. Far corner now, it's McTavish trying to get it out into the slot. A shot from the blue line, bouncing. Tell you what, Anthony Stolarz might be a very good goaltender, but I'm betting he could play shortstop pretty well too. That was a one-hopper that he managed to just snap right out of the air.
Well, what if he's got a bad arm?
I don't know what kind of a bat he's got too.
I know.
I would hope.
I think you got to be a little more thorough.
All right. You know what? We'll go to spring training. Hey, the way the Blue Jays are playing, you could use anybody. Come on.
It'd be great if he just got up and rifled it into the crowd.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Bouncing puck in the Leaf zone. Pushed up on the left wing. Out at center ice now for Ekman Larsson. Down into the corner it goes as Minton was knocked off the puck. Domi is able to backhand it in around back of the net. Lacombe Jackson playing it into the near corner. And a long lead pass gets out on the left wing, and the Ducks are in with a shot from an angle that was stopped on the short side by Stolarz. At the point, a drive. Nicely blocked there by Minton. Tries to work it out at center ice, and then misfired on a pass as Domi, it was out of his reach. Back into the Toronto zone it goes. Pass up on the left wing. Nice. Plays it in the midst of a change. Going around back of the goal then is Vetrano, and he'll get it out at center ice. Marner brings it back in for the Maple Leafs. Marner dropping off for Matthews. Slides by one. Heads to the front of the net. Wraparound attempt was stopped. And then Alex Killorn just pushes it back to his goaltender. And Lucas Dostal will hold on for a face-off as Matthews has had a couple of decent chances.
That one on the wraparound, but Dostal did not overplay it on the short side. So he was rather quick to get from post to post. Maybe at that point you're just trying to bank it in off a skate.
Yeah,
might get into a blue point.
Pass on the left wing. Riley tries to center. It was deflected back to the net. Riley got it again. Tried to center it again. That was blocked at the short side with the paddle down by Dostal. And now here are the Ducks getting it out at center. Brought in on the right wing with a pass into the slot area, and Leeson couldn't get it in front of the net. Leafs trying to punch it up the boards, and they get it to the line, but not out the first time. They do the second. Trouba playing it off on the wing and sending it down into the Toronto zone as both teams are changing. Approaching 6 minutes into the period. Shots are 3-2, so already the Leafs have doubled their output from the other night. Down into the offensive zone go the forward line of Steven Lorenz, along with Reeves and Dewar. Dewar gets a loose puck in the slot, tried to flip it into the corner. That didn't work, and then Dewar took a healthy run at one of the defenders. The puck goes in over the Toronto line, a bouncing puck into the corner. Benoit is in there, and it is grabbed off a stick, almost played in front of the goal there by Connor Timmins. A pass now. Dewar is able to get to it, but the Leafs don't get it out as Reeves failed to get it past. Now Lorenz got it ahead for Dewar, who stick handles in over the line. Plays it around the boards out of the reach of Reeves, but it'll go to Lorenz, back to Reeves. Reeves gets away from one, centered in front of the net, and it's going to be covered up by Dostal as it just failed to reach the Leaf forward in front of the net.
I think that might have been Jake McCabe that had jumped down because of the line change, but Ryan Reeves had him in his sights but couldn't get it through the traffic in front.
A break in the action, no score, Anaheim and Toronto. And you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. We had a great visit before the game with the Anaheim Ducks goaltending coach, Peter Budaj, who...
Sudzi.
Yeah. But one of the things that was so interesting with that is what a story he's had as far as health concern and beating pancreatic cancer and...
Yeah, and said in a lot of ways he was lucky. There were symptoms early on.
Shot from the point, stopped the rebound in front, they score! Max Pacioretty on his stomach is able to bat the puck in behind. Lucas Dostal, and Pacioretty opens the scoring for the Maple Leafs.
John Tavares won the draw. Pacioretty got it back to the point. It was fired towards the net, hit a wall in front of Dostal. But John Tavares adroitly chips a backhand pass between his own legs across the top of the crease, where Pacioretty simply had to dive forward and sweep it into the empty part of the goal to give the Leafs the 1-0 lead.
The Leafs are 11-1-1 when they score first, which is the best mark in the National Hockey League. The New York Rangers are next at 12-2.
Well, in Anaheim, when giving up the first goal, 9-1. But this was a great play by John Tavares. He gets the rebound. He's got his back to the Anaheim goal, and he just threw his legs across the top of the crease, and Max Pacioretty won the race to the loose puck. For Pacioretty, his first goal, first point since coming back from an injury.
Third goal of the season for Pacioretty. Backhanded high in back of the Toronto goal. Cut off there by Benoit. Fed ahead on the wing. Pacioretty on the near boards. Battles to get it out but failed. It goes to an open wing. Ducks get there first and will send it in wide of the net. Round back of the goal into the near corner. Harkins trying to come out with it. Cycles it back along the boards. Played around back of the net. Cut off adroitly there by the Leafs, but they can't get possession of the puck cleanly. Onto the near wing. Pacioretty again trying to play it out. Timmins gets it back and around the boards. It's going to find Nylander. Nylander plays it to his goaltender, and Timmins takes it, or at least Timmins took it from him, and they finally get it down into the Anaheim zone. Bouncing puck up against the boards. Knocked into the corner. The Ducks play it along the boards, not out. Right back into the corner it goes for Domi. Centering pass. Oh, and a one-timer by Minton went just wide. Now Minton looking for a man, goes back to the point. It goes off his stick. Bounces out into the center ice area. Racing back after it was Tanev, and he got some assistance there from Pontus Holmberg as Domi got it into the center ice area. Trying to work it up the boards. The Ducks can't get it into the Leaf zone, and then it's played in over the line as Toronto is in the midst of a change.
I tell you, Minton got something on that shot too, didn't he?
Did he ever? Strome back in his own zone. Gudas takes it back behind his goal and plays it into the corner. Looks for a return pass, and now Gudas with a lead pass that goes off a stick and all the way down the ice, but it's going to be offside, called by the linesman, and we might as well identify them. Brandon Grillo and Scott Cherry, the linesman. Brian Puckmara and Kendrick Nicholson are the referees.
This long attempted pass, it's going to be an offside, is going to serve very similar to an icing call as the faceoff comes all the way back in the Anaheim zone. The only difference is Ducks can get a change in.
Draw one by Matthews. Here's Riley. A centering pass! Just tipped wide by Matthews, and it went up into the screen, out of play.
Boy, set play, but right off the draw. Leafs win the draw, and Jackson Lacombe decides he's going to chase Mitch Marner towards the front of the net. That left the lane for Morgan Riley to jump down the left wing boards. And he spots Austin Matthews back door, but just cannot connect. Looked like Matthews had a pretty good opportunity just to tip that into the empty side.
Played down in along the boards far side. Gudas tries to find the near point, and the puck comes out at center. Good play made by the Leafs defense there, and a centering pass then is knocked into the corner. Oliver Ekman-Larsson was playing that 2-on-1 perfectly, but now he gives the puck away, and a centering pass in front goes off the stick of goaltender Stolarz, and the Leafs are breaking it out at center ice. Nyes weaves in on the right side, stands it up, tried to drop it off. It goes to Riley. Riley plays it around the boards to the left wing side, and Matthews is there. Pinned to the boards. Matthews and Nyes trying to dig it free, but it is dug out finally by Vetrano, and now here the Ducks try to work it up with Jackson Lacombe Lacombe Jackson coming to center and shooting it in. Leafs come through center ice, and Dewar launches it into the left wing corner. Fowler goes around back of the net. Fowler up against the boards, had it stripped away in front for Reeves, and he couldn't handle the pass. Reeves is able to keep it in though. Got it around back of the net. In goes the Leafs forward, Lorenz, with a pretty good hit. Lorenz centering pass, and it was too high, and it has gone past Dewar and all the way down into the zone. Quickly played by Stolarz to center, and McCabe just redirects it back into Anaheim territory. Leafs leading 1-0 after the first half of the first period. Lead pass at center, brought in over the line. Mitrikov with a shot that deflected off the goal stick of Stolarz, and it is played high to center ice. Bouncing puck to Nylander. The linesman called that offside. I'm a disbeliever.
Well, I guess they're going to say that Nylander didn't have control of the puck.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, it is going to be faced off in the center ice area. 1-0 in favor of the Maple Leafs on a Max Pacioretty goal. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Face off outside the Anaheim blue line.
The ice scraper's off the ice first. He was kind of getting the evil eye from the linesman, right?
Guys are a little tardy in their ice cleaning duties.
Thought they were just going to put pylons up and go home.
Maybe. Flipped high into the Anaheim zone.
They do that in downtown Toronto.
I know. Oh, I've seen that. Yeah. Played along the boards then by the Leafs into the corner. It'll come back towards the blue line, but McCabe just able to keep it in over the line, and now Trouba sends a long left wing pass out of the reach of everyone, and icing is the call against the Ducks.
I will say that
I can't get mighty out of it.
I know.
I can't.
I wonder how hard it was. I know it was before you, when the California Golden Seals became the Oakland Seals and then the California Seals. Mm-hmm. How hard it was to get those straight.
I remember doing a game in the old Cow Palace in Los Angeles, or in San Francisco. Up on the left wing now for the Leafs, and Matthews rings the boards to the far side. Alex Killorn got there first. It comes to the side of the goal. Nyes couldn't get to it. Killorn played it back into his own territory. Now the Leafs getting it back to the point. D-to-D pass finds Riley, who tips to Marner, who gets the shot away. Just wide of the net, in front of the net. Riley couldn't kick it free. Leafs are able to keep it in, have a man down low. Matthews with a shot, and that is stopped by Dostal. Austin Matthews was late coming out of the zone, and it almost cost the Ducks dearly.
It was Mitch Marner that caused the turnover, and then Matthew Nyes found Matthews in front of the Anaheim goaltender, just off to the left. Downside for Matthews is he was standing still, so his options were pretty limited by the time he got the puck.
Leafs keep the puck in with a long shot from the blue line that Dostal will catch and hold on for a face-off in the zone.
Well, goaltenders have split it pretty evenly for the last month or so. Like we said, the last time that goaltender played more than back-to-back games, or back-to-back games or more, was Stolars back when he relieved Joseph Wall after Wall had played back-to-back games at home. I believe it was Seattle, and then lost in St. Louis, and then 3 straight for the other one.
Pontus Holmberg trying to get into the zone, and Radko Gudas got the stick between his legs, and the captain of the Ducks is going to the penalty box.
Anaheim, number 7. 2 minutes for tripping.
So the Leafs get to the power play for the first time in the game. Brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy fall to the fullest with Symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. Gudas for tripping.
Leafs are just 2 for 14 in the last 6 games on the power play.
And off the boards and down the ice it goes off a face-off win by Anaheim. Stolar's leaving it there. Marner starts out. He's going to drop it back. Matthews coming through center. 5 forwards on the ice for the Maple Leafs. Nylander getting it into the corner now for Matthews. Centering pass comes back to Marner at the blue line. Wrist shot coming, and it's deflected wide of the goal. Up against the boards, Matthews and Nyes, or at least Tavares and Nyes trying to battle for it. It comes back towards the blue line, and now Marner's got to get on his horse and play defense as it's brought in over the line now by the Ducks around back of the net. Lundestrom trying to play it back, and he's going to play it all the way back to Trouba back in the Anaheim zone. Pass ahead at center. Leeson gets it back to Trouba. They go D-to-D, and the Ducks trying to play keep away here. And it's finally iced by Anaheim. Marner holding it off in front of his own goal. Starts up slowly. Looks to make a drop pass and does. Matthews is the trailer. Works to the line and in on the left wing for Nyes. Nyes down into the left wing corner. Works around back of the net. Centered in front of the goal. Oh, he had a chance there, and Domi was there. Now the Leafs keep the puck in. Nylander in for Domi with a bunch of debris out there on a broken stick. Marner, left wing side, a centering pass is going to be intercepted, and it's shot down the ice by Anaheim. Stolar's back of the net, got it ahead himself, and Nylander starts through neutral ice. He hits the blue line and in, flips it into the corner. Pacioretty centers in front of the goal. Domi in front of the net, but it is going to be covered up by Dostal and held for a face-off in the Anaheim zone.
All right, 13 seconds left in the power play. I think that's the only second attempt to get it to the net. And it was just Oliver Ekman-Larsson had jumped down and took the pass from Max Pacioretty, but just in the feet of the Leaf defenseman.
Domi gets the puck back to the blue line, but the Ducks get it out into neutral ice. And Lundestrom sends it the rest of the way into the zone, and the penalty will expire without damage being done. Leafs coming through neutral ice now, and here is Nylander in over the line. Off on the wing it goes to Pacioretty. Centered in front, they score! Nylander's centering pass went up into the air, and it deflects over top of Dostal, and the Leafs get a bit of a break and a 2-0 lead.
I think this goes off Brian Dumoulin, the Ducks defenseman, who put his stick out. Actually, Joe, it might have been Nylander, but after the puck flipped in the air, just sort of bunted it out of midair to get it past him. Dumoulin had his stick out. Yeah, this is, boy, watching the replay on this, Willie Nylander knocks this out of midair, and it just loops over the left shoulder of Dostal, short side, and into the goal. But it did go off Dumoulin first, up into the air, and then bunted in by Nylander to give the Leafs at a 2-0 lead. And this is the way things have gone for Anaheim of late, even last night. First period, Ottawa has the power play. Centering feed goes off the skate of Cam Fowler and in. So it's been a tough stretch for the Ducks and their goaltenders.
Max Pacioretty's going to get another point to go along with his goal, and it is 2-0 in favor of the Maple Leafs. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Leafs with a 2-0 lead over the Anaheim Ducks.
A one-time blast from the right point, easily grabbed by Dostal. It was Simon Benoit, the former Anaheim Duck.
Morgan Riley's drawing an additional assist on the goal that comes at 14:17 of the first period. So the Leafs, after a couple of slow shifts to start the game, have pushed the envelope a bit here as the puck is in the Anaheim zone. A centering pass that was knocked away by the Ducks, who play it up on the wing, but pinching down there is Benoit to take his man down, and the Leafs are going to be penalized here as a holding call is going to come to Simon Benoit, who will go to the penalty box.
Anaheim player went down in the process as well, and again another penalty taken by the Leafs.
2-minute minor penalty, holding.
The other end of the ice, and I'm going to guess Craig Berube didn't like the call. I think what he didn't like about it was the dive. Although I still think, Benoit does have the left hand off the stick.
Yep. Penalty kill brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stock. And off the face-off win in the Leaf zone, it is wired around the boards and down the ice. Power play for Anaheim is 29th in the National Hockey League, 12 of 81. And the Leafs penalty kill has been pretty good of late, giving up 2 in their last 19 times short, as we get an offside at the Toronto blue line.
Tell you, it is very different seeing certain players in a different uniform, right? And for Jacob Trouba, wearing number 65 instead of number 8 that he wore in New York with the Rangers. The last 3 captains the Rangers have all been traded.
That's something.
Yep. Ryan McDonough, Ryan O'Callaghan, and now Jacob Trouba. The last captain that wasn't traded and retired a Ranger is Chris Drury, the general manager who traded Jacob Trouba.
Maybe he's just trying to make sure that stays.
Yeah.
Look at Jackson on the far side. Shot wired wide, and Rick O'Shea is all the way out and rolling down into Anaheim territory. Minute 14 to go in the power play for the Ducks. Jackson comes to center, drops the puck back, brought through neutral ice by Troy Terry. Terry in across the line, onto the left wing side for Ryan Strome. Back to the point it comes, over on the near side. Vetrano's shot and scores. And the Ducks get on the board on a power play goal. It's 2-1.
And this is one that Anthony Stolar usually snaps up. But Vetrano takes the pass in the right wing circle, stops, sets, looks up, and then snaps it just over the right pad, just under the blocker. And inside the post far side on Stolar's. And again, you take those penalties at the other end of the ice. And the Leafs were pressing. And the Ducks turn around and make the pay. So Vetrano, that's his first goal in 5 games. Last year he had a career high 37 goals on the season, played in the All-Star game. Career high in goals with 37 and points was 60.
Stolars plays the puck into the corner. Tanev got forced in along the boards. The puck comes free. Ducks play it around back of the net. Tanev is able to play it around the boards to the near side. And now Pacioretty gets it out for Nylander. Nylander with Tavares. Nylander in trying to get it to Tavares, but he had it blocked. And now the Ducks are going to push it out into the center ice area. Anaheim on the left wing, getting it down into the corner. Chopped around back of the net by Lundestrom, but it's taken away. Nylander comes back the other way for Pacioretty. Pacioretty in the slot. Nowhere to go with it. Takes a long, easy shot in on Dostal. And it is the Ducks getting control of the puck now with 3 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the period. And the Leafs with a 2-1 lead. Anaheim get it in and around the boards, around back of the net. Benoit let it go. Riley, or at least Matthews, trying to help out. Back of the net then for Timmins. Off the boards and out at center. It's not hard enough to go for icing. Trouba is back to recover. And the former Ranger gets it ahead, and it's banked to the line but not out. Now pushed to center ice. Quickly restored by Toronto. Bouncing disc for Matthews. He's going to send it in. And around back of the net, Dostal will leave it there and play it himself around on the far wing for Alex Killorn. Killorn's pass off a stick. Leafs have it again at their own blue line. Played ahead quickly for Nyes. Nyes dropping it back for Matthews. Matthews goes to the far side for Tanev, and a wrist shot is kicked away by the pad of Dostal. And the Ducks will get it out at center ice and lift it to the Leaf blue line and into the zone. McCabe sending it around the boards. Tanev couldn't help out. Domi couldn't get the puck out. Then a shot from the point. Wired off the crossbar. Leafs get it out into the center ice area. Hustling after it here is Pontus Holmberg. He gets the puck free, looking for a man in front, but it is knocked by the Ducks ahead, and now a foot race is on. On the right wing side, McTavish in. Good blocking arm save made there by Stolarz. The puck comes free, and Minton comes to center. Minton is across the line, going to roll it in wide of the net. Goes in there after the loose puck, but it comes around the boards to Riley. His pass was a bad one, and Ryan Strome intercepts. Back come the Ducks in with another shot. That's stopped by Stolarz. And Domi turns to play it out at center ice for Tavares. Tavares across the line. Still with it on the far boards. Snowed under there by Cam Fowler. And the Ducks take it up on the left wing now and look to make a breakout as they get it out at center. Ryan Strome hits the blue line, but it's knocked back out at center ice by Nylander. Tavares is able to punch it deeper into Anaheim territory with less than a minute to go in the period. And the Leafs leading 2-1. Strome got it out at center. Knocked out of the air by Nylander. Very similar to how he scored the goal, actually. Pretty good eye-hand coordination. Ducks bring it back in over the line. Lundestrom sends it around back of the net. Strome plays it off to the defense. The Leafs are changing the forward complement. And they'll wait back of the goal. And now a lead pass at center is redirected into the zone. 20 seconds to go in the period. Good hit there by Steven Lorentz, but the Ducks get it out at center. They'll work in over the line. Harkins twisting and turning, sends a high shot over top of the Leaf goal, back of the net with 6 seconds left. It's pinned up against the boards. The Leafs realize the time left in the clock. Time will run out.
I'll tell you though, what one moment can do to flip a period on its ear. The Leafs had full control. They have a 2-0 lead. You take a holding penalty in the offensive zone. Anaheim scores to make it 2-1. Then all of a sudden, Anaheim has, 3 or 4 decent opportunities off the rush.
Including a crossbar.
And that goal went right to their legs. And the Leafs might have been fortunate to get out of the first period up by 1.
Pacioretty and Nylander for the Leafs. Vetrano for the Ducks. It's 2-1 after 20. We'll step aside for Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. The Maple Leafs will carry a 2-1 lead into the second period on the strength of goals from Max Pacioretty from Tavares and McCabe, and William Nylander, his 18th from Pacioretty and Riley, before Vetrano from Lacombe and Strome would score on the power play as the Leafs outshot the Ducks 9-8 in the first period of play. And the second period is brought to you by Molson. Whether it's Canadian Ultra, Export, or XL, there's a Molson with your name on it.
Well, shaky start, good recovery, bad penalty, power play goal against, and the Leafs are in a battle. But you can see where, from an Anaheim standpoint, Joe, how fragile the confidence is. They give up a couple, they look like they're out of it, they get one back, and they get a little bit of jump, and it's going to be interesting to see how the Leafs come out and start the second period here.
I'm not a fan of these orange jerseys, Mr. Ralph.
No, me neither.
Of the Ducks.
I was talking to Josh about that up here.
Arm numbers are virtually impossible to read.
That's more of it's not quite a Philadelphia Flyer orange.
No, it's not. No, it's
like a lighter orange.
More of a Halloween orange.
Yeah, pumpkin orange.
Yeah, pumpkin. Yeah, pumpkin. Yeah, pumpkin orange. That's exactly what it is.
But they went away from their sort of purplish original colors.
Greg Cronin, the former Leaf assistant coach, is the head coach of the Ducks as they send it down into the Leaf zone, and right off the bat there's an icing call. Bring it back into the Anaheim zone. Draw will be to the right of Lucas Dostal. He and Anthony Stolarz had a long chat while they were warming up before the game. Down in the penalty box door area. Gudas had the puck stolen, and a shot was whistled just wide of the net. It comes back into the slot area now for Nyes. Played along the boards. And Joseph Woll is in goal for Toronto. Here's Matthews cutting in. Played it in front of the net. The backhand try was blocked. Matthews unable to get to it.
They're saying lower body for Stolarz and won't return.
Well, that's not good news. So Joseph Woll is into the game here for Toronto. Up on the left wing, nicely played by Nyes. Trying to get in over the line. He really took Brian Dumoulin to task there. As it comes to the line, the Leafs are going to backhand it in. It's a delayed offside. Tavares unaware of that. Trying to press the attack, and it'll be whistled down.
We didn't see anything significant happen with Stolarz, but one thing the Leafs have done all season, and that's with every player, is they're going to err on the side of caution.
Well, let's hope that it is nothing serious.
With one position, I mean, Joseph Woll was late starting the season because of an injury coming out of training camp, but for the most part, the most important players on the Leaf team have been the goaltenders, and they've been healthy to this point.
Leafs Pacioretty in the zone, getting it out at center for Tavares. Tavares hits the line with a pass to Nylander, closing in with a shot, and it is gloved by Dostal chest high, and he'll stop play and bring a face-off in the Anaheim zone. So let's give you Joseph Woll's statistics. First time he's ever faced the Ducks. He is 7-3-0 with a 2.20 goals against average and a .919 save percentage. But in his last 7 games, he is 6-1-0 with a 1.99 goals against average and a .929 save percentage. He and Stolarz have been outstanding as the tandem, as the shot is kicked away by the Anaheim goaltender. Back of the net now, trying to dig it free is Minton, and a penalty coming here.
That's going to be a holding call as Pontus Holmberg got latched onto.
Anaheim, number 65, Jimmy Manifaldi, holding.
Yeah, it's going to be Jacob Trouba. I think Trouba knew once he'd latched onto him and felt Holmberg going down, Trouba thought, I'm going to go too.
See if I can.
Yeah, in fact, it was almost a wrestling move, wasn't it? Where he latched on and then pulled Holmberg down, but I think Trouba did the whole thing with the idea of trying to draw the penalty, not take one.
So the Leafs to their second power play. Marner to Nylander on the far boards, down low to Matthews, coming in with the backhand try, cuts into the goal crease area, and Nyes couldn't get his stick on it, or he had an empty net. Shot down the ice now by Anaheim. Marner brings the puck out at center. works to the line and then drops it back for Willie. Nylander slides in on the right side, tried to play it off the boards. Tavares now engaged right at the blue line to try and keep it in. 3 Leafs are there. Marner gets it freed up. Over on the far side for Nyes. Nyes dropping it off for Nylander. In along for Tavares. Tavares tried to flip it back, then got it freed up and found Marner. Marner just does control the puck, but then he gave the puck away. And 3 Ducks come to center. Jackson in on the left wing with a drop pass. Lundestrom trying to get a shot away, and it was too well covered up. The puck goes back of the net. And now Matthews starts away. 6 forwards for the Leafs again. Here's Matthews to the line, in on the right side for Nyes. Nyes dropping it back for Marner. Marner fakes a pass, got it into the slot. Tavares to the right wing side, got a return pass, and then makes a bad pass. And out at center it comes as Marner was nowhere near getting that. Marner stretches things out. Nylander turns. Played through center to the line and in. Nylander left it there for Matthews, who flipped it into the left wing corner. Dumoulin played it ahead. Out come the Ducks again. Odd man rush. No, it's a one-on-one rush, but a long shot. Blockered. Rebound. Knocked to the side of the goal and trickled wide of the net. Domi made a good play to get it away from harm's way. Here's Max coming out at center. Second unit over the boards for the Maple Leafs. On the right wing side. Pushed back to the blue line. Ekman Larsson rings the boards to the far side to Morgan Riley. Riley back to the net for Domi. Domi holds. Back to the point. The penalty is over. A pass in front of the net. Just redirected off Riley wide. Puck to the blue line is pushed out at center, but turned over again. And now the Leafs with another rush, and it is Minton sending it into the offensive zone. Round on the boards to the far side, and it is the Ducks coming away with the puck.
Well, another baffling power play from the Leafs.
Jackson shoots it in. You understand the premise and everything else. You think that it should be fine, and yet it's just not clicking. Now the Leafs in with a rolling shot in on goal. Scooped aside by Dostal into the corner. 2-1 Toronto. And Anaheim come away with the loose puck. Leo Carlson through center. Got it in over the line. Passing into the slot area. And Fabry couldn't get his stick on it. Leafs lose the puck at the side of the net. It comes in front, and Reeves is there to take it to safety, and then it is Lorenz flipping it in on the right side. Steven Lorenz forcing the puck back behind the net. Brian Dumoulin ran into traffic, and then Reeves ran into his man as it comes up on the left wing side, and Alex Killorn will get it down into the Toronto zone. McCabe back along the boards, played it back of the net. McCabe has it there again. Played off Marner's skate, and then a feed for Pontus Holmberg didn't connect. Matthews after it. Holmberg is able to steal it, got it back in front of the net. A backhand by Matthews goes off the stick of Cam Fowler and up into the screen and out of play.
Ducks have a little jump in their step now, don't they? After the penalty
kill. You've never seen a duck. A duck doesn't have jump in its step. It waddles.
Well, how does it fly then?
With its wings, but it doesn't. It waddles when it's on the ground.
It would have to jump, though, to start flying.
Well, no, you waddle really fast. I think.
Can you fly?
No. Not on purpose. Riley centering pass, and the one-timer by Marner went off the blocking glove of Dostal. But your point is well made.
Whatever it was.
Yes, they're waddling quicker. Leafs able to keep the puck in with Matthews. Left wing corner. Dropped it back to the blue line. It comes over to Morgan Riley. Riley with a shot that went off a leg. Played out at center ice in a foot race here. Matthews trying to get position on his man. McTavish gets it down into the corner. And Matthews staple gunned him to the boards. Lead pass for Nylander, and it bounced away from him. Then it rolled in on goal as that Gudas made a kind of a half-hearted attempt to get it free. Now the back come the Ducks, and a long shot is swallowed up by Joseph Wall, who will stop play and send us to a commercial break. The Leafs maintain a 2-1 lead that they built in the first period. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Leafs lead 2-1 No scoring thus far in the second period. Philip Meyer scratched this evening along with Nick Robertson as healthy scratches. And all of that, well, with Jake McCabe coming back into the lineup. The draw to the left in the Toronto zone. Scrummed, but the Ducks play it around back of the net. McCabe unable to reach it. Puck comes back to the point, kept in there and fed in along the boards by Minchikov. And now the Leafs and Minchikov keeping it in again as it looked like the Leafs are going to get out. And Tanev just lifts the puck to center ice. Ducks back in their own zone. Off the stick and into the Toronto end. Tanev against the boards for McCabe. Alley-oop through center. Nylander unable to reach it in time. Grabbed off again and fed back into the Toronto zone. McCabe tries it another time. Up ahead for Tavares this time. In across the line. Dropping for Nylander. Closing with a wrist shot that went high over top of the net. Tavares is able to keep the puck alive in the far corner. That draws a crowd. Has it in his skates. Pacioretty trying to help out. It comes back to the point. Kept in there by Benoit. Benoit to Nylander. Chipped along for Pacioretty. Pacioretty out of the corner. Works back towards the blue line. Just kept in. Puck comes free, and then Minton couldn't deliver a shot. Minton on the far half boards. Into the corner for Nylander. Nylander looks in front. Back to the point. Benoit fanned on the shot completely. And the Ducks get the puck to center ice and will slip it down into the Leaf end to afford a change of players. 12:25 to go, second period. Still 2-1 Toronto. Yeah, a bit of a speed wobble there from Brian Dumoulin. And now Timmins launches it high into the zone. He looked a little awkward there, didn't he?
Yeah, it was like he was falling backwards down an escalator, didn't it?
Killorn skates to the line and in for Anaheim. Drops it off on the boards on a drop pass to Brett Leeson. Long shot went wide of the Leaf goal. Pushed out at center ice, but Fowler is there for Anaheim. Cam Fowler. Pass off a stick and into the Toronto end. Out of the net was Wall to scoop it around back of the goal. Then Wall and Riley got tangled up. Riley went to the ice, but now here the Ducks keeping it in with a shot that's blocked in front of the net and quickly cleared by the Maple Leafs into neutral ice. Lacombe Jackson is there for Anaheim. To the line and in. Nice pass in now. Trying to go hard to the net was a good play by Robbie Fabry, but stopped by Wall. Ducks with the puck again back to the net. Killorn couldn't get it free, and now Nyes does, and Leafs break it to center. Nyes looking for a shoot-in. Tried to get Riley on the wing, but it goes down into the zone. Nyes unable to reach it in time. And the Ducks play it off the stick and all the way back down on goaltender Joseph Wall. He gives the puck away, though. Here's a chance for Gauthier, and the shot deflects up into the screen. Out of play.
Boy, this game feels like we're on the verge of something happening, right? Either the Leafs are going to blow it open, or the Ducks are going to roar back and take the lead. This has not been a boring, uneventful second period.
17-16 the shots now favoring Toronto. 10:57 to go in the second stanza.
Evil and Nylander's had the best opportunities for the Leafs here in the second.
I agree. Ducks scrum the draw. Reeves is able to get it out and get it down into Anaheim territory. He'll get to the puck first, playing it back towards the blue line, but it doesn't reach Tanev. Helping out was Dewar to keep it alive. Lorenz in the near corner. Steven Lorenz back to the point. Tanev a little fake, then got the wrist shot away, but it was blocked by the seat of the pants of one of the forwards for Anaheim. They'll bring it back the other way. McTavish gets it down into the Toronto end. McCabe pushing it up on the boards. Reeves with it there. Reeves to Tanev. Tanev will get to the red line, and he'll backhand down into the zone. And we got a whistle from the linesman here. I think we're going to face it off at center. Did it hit one of the Leaf players who had a foot inside the
going
bench?
off?
Yeah, I believe that's what it was.
Well, you just mentioned Mason McTavish. He had quite the 21-22 season. He played in the Swiss League in 2021, COVID year. Came back. He played for the Anaheim Ducks, San Diego Gulls, Peterborough Petes, Hamilton Bulldogs, as well as the 2022 Olympic team and World Junior team.
Boy, that's a lot of luggage stamps, eh?
Know.
Shot into the Anaheim zone. The Ducks are a very young team. A lot of players that maybe are getting the experience at the NHL level that they should be getting maybe at the American Hockey League level, but who's going to argue, right? Fowler, centering pass, off a skate. Leafs with the puck, getting it up on the wing for Pacioretty. Pacioretty to the right wing side, gobbled up there by Timmins, sent into the corner. Nylander strides in, but is late getting there. And now trying to get to the bench is Nylander as the puck comes back out into the center ice area. Brought right back in again by Minton. Into the slot with a shot. Oh, and a good glove save made there by Lucas Dostal as he snaps the leather out to thwart the youngster from Toronto, Fraser Minton. It is a 2-1 Toronto lead. All of it engineered in the first period. 9:17 to go in the second. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Joe Bowen along with Jim Ralph. Cameron Moore is producing. Josh Lippa thinking that he's running the operation down here. And we've got Jag Kang pushing all of the buttons back at home. And a 2-1 Toronto lead. Jackson sends it down into the zone. Wall had to scoop that around quickly, but the Leafs get it out. Now Domi looks to make a pass in over the line, and it was knocked off of the stick of Pontus Holmberg. Domi couldn't knock it into the zone, though he tried with a baseball swing. Brought in now on the other side, and a wraparound attempt comes out in front, and it was deflected just wide of the net off the stick of Brock McGinn. At the point, kept in by Jackson. Back to the net to the far side. Holmberg dropping it off. Long lead pass looking for Domi, but it was in behind him, and ends up going for icing, and it'll come all the way back into Toronto territory.
The Leafs have been able to win 60% of the face-offs, which has kept them out of a little bit of danger in their own zone so far. And right now, the leader in that is Austin Matthews, who's won 8 out of 12.
Minton will take this face-off against Leo Carlson. And the draw scrum, but the Leafs come away with it. Played off the boards for Pontus Holmberg. He's going to ice the puck again. It's one way of getting the rest.
It's also one way of testing the stats in the face-off circle. Win the draw, ice it, so you better win her again.
So Minton will be entrusted again. This time the face-off moves to the left wing circle. And Minton wins it cleanly. Leafs tie the puck up, but it comes free. Brought back by Leeson to the point. Tied up there by Minton on the boards. They battle for it. Trying to dump it in. Leo Carlson as it comes to the point. Now on the left wing side, Fowler. Fowler with a chance of centering pass. And in the slot, it was boomed over top of the Leaf goal. Round on the far side, Brian Dumoulin trying to keep it in. Knocked in along the boards. Ducks keep it in with a pass. It is going to be deflected out at center ice. Not sure if the Leafs will get many players exchanged. They'll get two anyway as it's down into the Toronto zone. Oliver Ekman-Larsson circles the goal, shields the puck nicely, plays it off the glass and gets it out at center, and Matthews sends it the rest of the way to get the remainder exchanged as the Leafs get their change completed. Matthews against the boards, came up with the loose puck, got it freed up for Marner. Marner couldn't get it in. Matthews tries it again. This time Nyes will send it around the boards. Marner on the near side, dropped it off, and then the centering pass for Marner went through his skates. Anaheim get the center, and Marner is back at his blue line. Marner with a pass up off the left wing, nicely deflected there by McCabe. McCabe gets into the corner, back of the net to the near point now for Marner. A shot in on goal. Nyes was there, but didn't make any kind of contact to redirect that. And Dostal had very little problem in taking that chest high and holds for a face-off. Leafs' next action is Saturday night in Detroit, as the Leafs will tangle with the Red Wings at Little Caesars Arena, and we'll have that action for you beginning at 7 o'clock. At the point of launch, it scores! Connor Timmins! Was it redirected in front by Pacioretty? I think so. Max Pacioretty has his second goal of the game.
And the dominance in the face-off circle pays off for the Anaheim end. John Tavares wins it back to Connor Timmins. Max Pacioretty looks right at the point as he spins and squares himself up to Timmins. The shot is going far side, and this is deflected just enough to get it past the blocker, up and over the blocker.
Offside at the blue line as Tavares was breaking in.
Boy, Pacioretty is blessed, isn't he, with that hand-eye coordination for the redirections. But give Connor Timmins credit. Looked up, saw traffic in front, and right inside the Anaheim blue line, right wing boards. Looks up and just risks it into traffic, and the Leafs are up 3-1.
Played down into the Toronto zone. Wall almost got tangled up there with Timmins trying to make a play, but the Leafs get it out. Nylander sifting through center, now trying to explode in on the left wing. Stops it up, still with it, sends it around the boards, comes back to the blue line, kept alive now for Tavares. Tavares works it back in front for Nylander, going to the net with a backhand, and on the short side, Dostal was able to get a arm in front, and the puck ends up in his glove, and he'll stop play. Tavares draws the other assist along with Timmins. Pacioretty with his second goal of the game, his fourth of the season. And he was a goal scorer wherever he's been. And you can just see the little things that he is able to do that somebody like a Nick Robertson can't do at this point in his career, right?
Yep, and given the opportunity to play with skilled players as well.
Leafs get a turnover in the center ice area, but they can't get it in deep. Matthews was blocked. The puck comes to the line and in. Now here's Strome trying to get a shot away. It comes free, and the shot is swallowed up, knocked down, but a juicy rebound comes in front, and they score! Lacombe Jackson got a rebound in front of the net. I don't think it was touched. And his wrist shot from the top of the circles negates what had been a 2-goal lead. It's back to 1. And Joseph Woll gives up his first goal of the game.
He's one of those that's thrown to the front of the net, and the Leafs just can't get a stick on the bouncing puck. And Lacombe had stuck in from the point. I mean, this was just keep throwing it to the net, throw it to the net, and it was the third opportunity that finally gets through the maze and past Wall. And I believe it was Ryan Strome, Joe, was the one that sort of bunted it back into the high slot. But give the Ducks credit.
They're hanging around. Dumoulin playing it up on the boards on the left wing side. McGinn got it out at center. Reeves blocked it, and then it is rifled right back in by the Maple Leafs' Connor Dewar. Round back of the net. Dewar couldn't come up with it. A point shot comes into the slot area. They bang away at it as it comes to the point. Riley with a drive. That's blocked. Reeves gets it into the goal crease area as it's played into the corner. Chipped around back of the net. Reeves couldn't come up with it. And Dumoulin looking for an outlet pass. Has his stick shatter on him, and fortunately his defense partner is there to clear it out.
Boy, if there would have been an opportunity to challenge him on the forecheck, at least would have the line changed instead.
Yeah, the second period probably brought that about, right? Here's Domi in on the right, on the left wing, tries to center. That's knocked back into the slot area. Back at the point, it comes back to Max. Domi back to the point, and a shot in traffic, and it's gloved by Dostal and held. Face-off coming in the Anaheim zone to his right when we return from this commercial break. The Leafs 3, the Ducks 2. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. 4 minutes and 53 seconds remaining in the second period, and the Maple Leafs with a 3-2 lead. And Ryan Strome, Mississauga native, has got a couple of assists in front of family and friends. The draw in the Anaheim zone to the left of Lucas Dostal. And the draw scrummed. Ducks get it up on the left wing. Gauthier getting it out at center. Played in on the left wing now for McTavish. Mason McTavish into the corner, tying up his man, but it is Pacioretty getting it freed up, but then Lacombe Jackson was able to intercept and send it in. Now a centering pass, gobbled up in front of the net after a save made by Wall, and it's cleared down the ice. Goaltender plays it over for Gudas. Radko Gudas got it ahead. Fabry in across the line. Fabry dropping it off, and a wrist shot taken there, went high and wide by McTavish over top of the goal. Round on the boards near side. Fabry trying to center. Onto the right wing side, and a sharp angle shot rang off the goal post and went wide. Rebound centered, intercepted by the Leafs, but not flipped out. Kept alive by Anaheim. On the right wing side, sent in by Fabry. Into the corner it goes. Dumoulin going wide, gets it back into the near corner for Terry. Terry back to the point. Over on the right wing side, a shot that was stopped by Wall. The puck still free, and the Leafs hemmed in here and getting tired. Dumoulin at the right point, walks the line, drops it off into the slot, looks for a return pass and gets it. Dumoulin on the far side with a shot, that deflected wide. Leafs don't get a handle on the puck. Kept alive here by Anaheim. Circling the net is Troy Terry with a shot. That was stopped, and fortunately it went off Wall and ends up going into the screen and out of play. And the Leafs will get a much needed change after being hemmed in their own end.
And the Leafs are starting to look nervous in their own end, aren't they? Standing around, not aggressive, way too much time and space given. As the Ducks try to even things up here. By the way, for Max Pacioretty, his last goal, got 2 tonight, but his last goal was October 21st in a home game against Tampa. Remember, he scored the first goal of the year for the Leafs in New Jersey.
Yeah. After the Leafs got shut out in Montreal in his return to Montreal. Domi carries to center and into the zone. A little flip pass in looking for Pontus Holmberg. Holmberg carries out of the corner. Back to the point it goes, and a wrist shot in traffic deflected away by Dostal. Centering pass by Domi didn't connect. Riley is able to chip it into the corner and out of the reach there of Pontus Holmberg. Domi into the forecheck, and now Minton helps him out. Domi comes out of the corner with a pass for Holmberg. Back to the point. It'll come to the near side. Ekman Larsson trying to send it in and out of midair. Knocked down by Alex Killorn, and he's going to circle it out at center and flip it into the Toronto zone to allow a change for the Ducks. Brought on at center by the Leafs and head for Matthews. He'll snap it around the boards. Marner hoping it reaches him. He bodies the defender to try and keep it alive on the boards. It comes free in front. Nice. Tried to cradle it on the backhand and go to his forehand, but by the time he did that, it was knocked off. Played towards the net. Wall trying to smother a puck at the side of the goal, and he is successful in doing so. And will hold for a face-off. Anthony Stolarz started the game, played the first period, but then they say tightness, some kind of tightness that developed through and we didn't really see an incident that would have caused it. But Joseph Wall came on to play in the second period.
Who by now, by the way, is after giving up that goal, is now the goalie of record.
Yeah. There's a method to the madness, Mr. O. Played off the boards, knocked down by Matthews. He gets it to the side of the goal, but Gudas played it away. And a long lead pass. Here is a chance in across the line. Vetrano trying to send it to the near side, and Jackson had it deflect off his stick and go wide. Leafs with it in their own zone. Played back into the corner, back of the net, off the back of the goal. Marner had to steal it and then gets it back to McCabe. And McCabe with skating room to his liking on the left wing will get to center and shoot it in. Changes coming for the Maple Leafs wholesale as it's played ahead and now bought in over the line by Vetrano. Into the slot and a shot. Oh, and a good pad save made there by Wall. Leafs trying to chip it along at center ice. Unable to get it in is Tavares. It'll come to the near side to Nylander. Nylander sending it back in over the line, but well out of the reach of the Leaf forward. Now Nylander steals and works in. Darts in on the left wing and a goal! Well, he scored, but the puck went into the corner.
Boy, great burst of speed by Nylander. Picked up the puck middle of the ice at the blue line and burst around his man and then tried to cut back on the backhand. Boy, Cam Fowler, this would be close to a trip, even though Nylander might have stepped on his stick.
I don't know. He pushed that stick towards the feet, but no call. I love it.
Yeah, might have been on his way down already.
All right. There you go, being on the side of the officials again. It's a broken record, I'll tell you, Mr. Ross.
Well, that would make two of them, wouldn't it?
Pushed ahead for Tavares. He's to the line on the left wing. It goes to Pacioretty, back for Tavares. And it was deflected on goal, but Dostal got a pad in the way. Back to the net, Pacioretty trying to come out in front. Still with it, now sends it into the goal crease area. Nylander couldn't deliver. In front for Pacioretty, and a shot went off a leg and went wide. Tavares doing yeoman's work in the corner, but it comes up on the left wing. And the Ducks will get it out at center ice. McTavish to an open wing. Almost too many men on the ice there as they were in the midst of a change. But the Ducks send it in with now a dozen seconds left to go in the period. It was 2-1 at the end of the first. Teams have traded goals in the second. Long shooting will be cleared out and down the ice. And time will run out.
Well, thankfully for the Leafs, to this point, the Tavares line has been going. They were in on all three of the Toronto Maple Leaf goals, but the Anaheim Ducks, once it was 3-1, you thought, okay, now you got a little bit of breathing space, but within a minute, I guess it was a minute 5 later?
Yep.
Ducks get back to within one, and Toronto Maple Leafs look nervous at times defending. So Anaheim's got a little bit of, what do we call it, jump?
They do indeed, and they have a 3-2 lead, the Leafs do, after 40 minutes of play. And we'll step aside and have Jim Taddy joining Anthony Stewart for our second period intermission. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Shots on goal have favored Anaheim 24-23 after 2 periods of play, but the big story, I suppose, if there's a sidebar story to all of this, is the injury to Anthony Stolarz, who did not return to start the second period.
And the concern going forward is you've got back-to-back games on the weekend. Saturday in Detroit and then Sunday at home. What is it, a 5 o'clock start Sunday, is it not?
Yes.
So are you going to play Joseph Wall back-to-back in 22 hours between games?
That's not likely, and so you would think that
Dennis
Hildeby, although the Marlies have had some great goaltending of their own down there as well, so we can see how all of that plays out and how serious the injury is to Stolarz, but I would think if he was unable to continue today, he's not going to be ready for the weekend. Richie Clune, the former Marley, is an assistant coach with the Ducks under head coach Greg Cronin. Leafs to the right and the Ducks to the left as we get set to start the third period.
By the way, 10 times the Ducks have trailed into the third period. Twice they've been able to come back and win.
Didn't do the face-off correctly. They'll try again. And we're ready to go. Puck is dropped. Third period underway. Chipped to the line by Nyes, but he didn't get it in deep. Marner turning the puck over and getting it back, and the Leafs have it in their own zone under control. Tanev, bank pass will come to center. Broken up there by Anaheim. Brought in on the wing by Troy Terry, trying to drop it into the slot. Good play by Matthews to intercept, but he couldn't get it out as Marner had it bounce over his stick. Tanev, little fake there and a pretty good one. And that allows Matthews to come to center and Marner as well. Marner in across the line. He's going to snap it in around the boards to the far side. Tavares fresh off the bench for Nyes. He'll play it around back of the net. Tavares couldn't get to it. Gudas got it up on the wing. Got a bump in there on Morgan Riley as they play it down into the far corner. Leafs come out of the scrum with it. Tavares turns, tried to flip it in front. Too well covered. Grabbed off by Pacioretty. He couldn't backhand it in deep. And Gudas has it in his own zone. Radko Gudas, 2,410 hits since coming into the league. That's a lot. Down into the corner, back of the net in the Leaf zone this time. Chipped along the boards. And Chris Tanev is right up there in that department. Here's Nylander flipping it into the Anaheim zone. Overskating it was Minton. Couldn't find a handle on it. And the Ducks, Fowler, getting it on the wing and deflecting it down into the Toronto zone. Around back of the goal, a long lead pass for Domi. Domi in on the left wing, took a shot, and it's into the glove and held by Lucas Dostal, and there'll be a face-off coming in the Anaheim zone to his right.
Anaheim 23 shots in the night already. They only average a little over 27 shots a game in the season. So I don't know whether you can be critical of the Leafs or admire Anaheim for back-to-back games and continuing to battle here.
Minton waved out of the face-off area. Domi wins it, and the Leafs have dominated that area. Shot fired by McCabe, goes off the goal post. Round back of the net. One-handing it into the corner was Pontus Holmberg. Chip to the line, not out. Benoit keeping it in. Back of the net, Minton. Minton holds into the far corner. Domi sifting around in front of the net as it comes back to him now in the far corner. He'll get it back to the point, near side for Benoit. Shot off a leg, went wide. It comes to the side of the goal, and the goaltender poked it into the corner. Ducks get it freed up, and they get it out into center ice. Brought in over the line with a long shot that was wristed by Mason McTavish off a stick, and it's gone up into the screen, and there's some shoving going on in front of the Leaf goal. Nothing more developing. Faceoff will come in the circle to the right of Joseph Woll.
Well, Cam Fowler, the longest serving member of the Anaheim Ducks, and 12th overall in the 2010 NHL entry draft. Every player taken before him no longer with the team that drafted them.
Is that right? And there have been rumors that Fowler is on the trading block too.
Yeah, that's been a while, but I mean, that was a draft. Taylor Hall, Tyler Seguin, Eric Branson.
Leafs get it out into the neutral zone. Lacombe plays it up on the wing, but the Leafs have it there with Ekman Larson finding Lorenz. They'll regroup deeper in the Leaf zone. Lorenz gets the outlet pass, goes to the right wing side. In comes Oliver Ekman Larson from a sharp angle. The shot went wide, and it's caromed off the corner boards and slid all the way back into the Toronto end. Morgan Riley hustles back and stops up behind his goal. Finds an outlet into the corner for Ekman Larson. Through center, off the stick of Dewar and into the offensive zone. Fourth line out there for Toronto. Played up on the wing, and now here are the Ducks getting to center. Ow! That hit the linesman and caroms into the Leaf end. He's not even going to rub it. Brought out at center ice and shot in. Tough play there by Brandon Grillo, the linesman. Far side, Tanev keeping it into the offensive zone for Matthews. Matthews into the slot area, nicely touched back to the point, and a whistling shot was blockered by Dostal into the near boards. Here's McCabe. He hit the goal post earlier in the period. Into the corner to Marner. Dropping it back for Matthews. Back of the net for Marner. Centered. Oh, and it went right by Nyes. Here's McCabe around back of the goal with it for Toronto. Looking back to the blue line. Over to the near side. It'll come to Marner. Marner with a shot in on goal stop. Matthews couldn't get the rebound. And it is punched out at center ice now by the Ducks. Marner bringing it right back in. Shovels it in wide of the goal. Anaheim into the near corner after the loose puck, and having difficulty is Brian Dumoulin. It comes free to Matthews, now to Nyes. Nyes coming to the front of the net, and it was off the stick of Dostal and out of harm's way, taken to safety by Troy Terry, who sends it down into the Toronto end. Pretty good shift by the Leafs' number one line there. A couple of decent scoring opportunities. Benoit and Timmins get it ahead for Tavares. Tavares has it go in off a stick, and now it goes right to Nylander. Nylander in! Oh, and he went for the top shelf and just missed. Back come the Ducks. Left wing side, off a stick, turnover, has Pacioretty moving. Ahead for Willie. Oh, and he had it roll off his stick. And the goaltender is able to play it into the near board. Centering pass, and Pacioretty just missed his hat trick. It comes back to the blue line. Far side now for Ekman-Larsson. Trying to play it along the boards. That is pushed out at center ice, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson goes back to it. Brought back in, and a drop pass by Tavares to Nylander. Shooting, rebound in front, Tavares banging away. And Lucas Dostal is down to cover up. Two great shifts by the Leafs' first two lines.
And doing a little better job, Joe, of just getting the puck to the net instead of trying to get fancy with the setups. And here it's Willie Nylander with John Tavares in front of the net. Nylander in the high slot will just load up and snap it in the middle of the ice. Dostal made the first save and then was able to hold on to the rebound before Tavares could kick it past him.
14:46 to play in the period. Leafs with a 1-goal lead. Draw clipped out at center ice, cleared back to the line. Pontus Holmberg after it, knocked it into the corner against Gudas. It goes to an open corner. Down the boards came Timmins, who got knocked down. Domi trying to knock the puck into the corner and played it around into the near corner. Pontus Holmberg after it there. Now he was knocked down. Minton tries to help out, kept in at the blue line momentarily. Domi is able to keep it in firmly and play it back of the net. Round the boards, it'll go to the left wing side. Out come the Ducks to center ice, and Domi's back checking, does a nice job there, but it's brought in over the line. Gauthier sends it into the side, and now Minton is there to take it to safety, and it'll be brought on now by Benoit, who drops it back for Connor Timmins. Leafs are changing. Timmins got it ahead. Benoit waiting for troops to arrive, sends it in deep. Marner couldn't come up with it as it's played around the boards, and Matthews is there. Around to the near side for Marner. Little touch pass to Nyes. Nyes carries back of the net, puts the brakes on. Thought about coming out in front, but had it knocked off his stick back into the near corner. Puck is still free along the boards. Blocked there by McCabe. Could have been a glove pass, but then was stopped. And Nyes with a wrist shot was easily handled by the pad of Dostal, and now brought to center ice by Anaheim. Ducks have it knocked off their stick and back into Anaheim territory. Settling it down is Brock McGinn. Trouba up on the left wing, deflected down by McGinn into the Toronto end. Leafs around back of the net, off a stick to Pacioretty. Can't get it out past the pinching defenseman Trouba. Into the far corner now for Ekman-Larsson after a loose puck. That is poked to the line but not out. Kept alive now by the Ducks into the far corner. Harkins trying to dig it free, but the Leafs get it off on the wing, and Pacioretty is away. He gets a return pass and in with a shot. Oh, and he just missed on the short side. Kept alive by Nylander, who centers, and then Tavares chipped it just wide. A broken stick gets in the way of the puck, but it is Tavares around back of the net into the corner for Pacioretty. Pacioretty centers, and Nylander couldn't get a shot directed at the goal, as the Ducks get it to center, and now trying to make a play to get in over the line and failing to do so. They'll finally come away with it. Gudas in on the right side, and a shot just wired wide. Rebound caroms all the way to center ice.
Boy, at least got caught on a line change there. And only one guy on the left wing side of the ice.
Reeves creating a disturbance, and as a pass in front of the net from Lorenz was out of the reach of Connor Dewar. And the Ducks will get it out at center. Troy Terry carries down into the zone, broken up at the Leaf defense. Leafs get it up on the left wing. Pushing it out into the center ice zone is McCabe. Shot right back in again. Out of the net wall to slow it up. McCabe ran into his man, and the puck comes free, and Lorenz gets it out at center ice, and Domi is going to snap it into the zone. Goaltender Dostal out of the net. Plays back to the goal and onto the near boards now for Brian Dumoulin. And Dumoulin starts out of his own zone. Wristed back down into the Toronto end. Holmberg back of the net. Far corner onto Domi. Up ahead at center for Minton. Minton couldn't get into the zone. And the Ducks will send it back now as they counterattack in across the line with a backhand that is easily caught off the stick of Mason McTavish to stop play in the Toronto zone with 10:58 to play in the third. Leafs nursing a 3-2 lead on the Anaheim Ducks, trying to win for the 13th time on home ice and the 18th time this season. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs 3 and the Ducks 2.
Really hoping after the nail biter in New Jersey that this would be a little more comfortable at this point, wouldn't you?
They're learning to play in tight games. And the only way you can learn to play in tight games is to have them.
You can throw in an occasional 5-6-1 win, though, couldn't you?
Well, I suppose. Brought on by Marner through center. He hits the line, works to the right wing side, stops up at the half boards, gets it back to the point, and a slap shot blocked that goes right to McCabe. One of the Ducks broke his stick in the block. The puck comes down low, and a shot by Matthews, trying to go top shelf, but he couldn't get Dostal to go down. Now Matthews trying to center, but too well covered. Played around the boards, and pinching down there is Tanev to keep it alive. Dumoulin tries the other side, and the Ducks have a little bit of room, but will misfire on a pass, and as it goes down, it went off a Leaf player, so there's no icing. Chris Tanev brings to center. He'll flip into the right wing corner. Nylander sliding in there after it. Got Tavares to knock it up on the far boards, but Lundestrom was there for Anaheim, and he's going to circle the goal and start out of his own end. Isaac Lundestrom in on the left wing. Had it knocked off his stick, but he regains it. But by the time he regained it, he had put himself offside because of the check at the blue line. And that stops play with 9:46 to go in the third period. The Leafs 3, the Ducks 2. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Leafs 3 and the Ducks 2. 9:46 to play in the third period. And the Tavares, Nylander, and Pacioretty line has been the best the Leafs have put on the ice.
Yeah, thankfully they've got that line going. Pacioretty with 2 of the goals, Willie Nylander with the third. By the way, the Flyers leading the Red Wings 2-0 in the third period. Leafs will be in Detroit Saturday night.
Backhanded deep into Anaheim territory. The puck bounds up on the boards, and it is pushed out at center ice, and Trouba gets it in over the line. Up against the wall now, Pacioretty trying to pry it free, and he has a lead pass. Brings Nylander in on the right side, and a glove save made by Lucas Dostal.
You're going to love the way Dostal plays, don't you? Comes out, challenges. A lot of confidence in that glove hand, too.
You know, and you have to love Nylander. His anticipation of turnovers is unbelievable. And now Matthews getting it up on the wing for Marner. Marner walks the line, works into the slot area, saucered it in! Nye's got a piece of it, but Dostal got his glove on it. And Lucas Dostal is keeping the Ducks in the game here. 33 shots for the Maple Leafs now, 24 for the Anaheim Ducks, which means they've had just 1 in this third period. That's my advanced mathematics, Mr. Ralph, because they had 23 after 2 periods.
Well, you're forgetting the X factor, which is they keep readjusting the shot totals during the game.
Yeah, but I was pretty proud of myself.
I know.
You know, I didn't even have to take my shoes off or nothing. Icing call here against Anaheim. And it'll come back with a face-off coming in the Circle to the right of Lucas Dostal.
His career average against the Leafs is 5.92. He's played in a couple of blowouts, but we remember that game last January where he was fantastic against the Leafs before losing 2-1 in overtime.
Which leads you then to ask, wonder what the numbers would be if he didn't have that game in it. But he's played well here tonight, no question about it.
The Leafs shelled him, I think, for 9 last year here in Toronto.
Kicked around back of the net, far side by the Leafs, but the puck comes free and a pass right in front of the goal! Down his wall! Oh boy, he hasn't had much to do, but he just made the save of the game right there. He had to stretch out on that right pad and then get a glove on the ensuing rebound. But what a save he makes here to keep the score 3-2 Toronto.
And that was Alex Killorn that had come out of the corner ahead of Morgan Riley and took the cross-ice pass. So Wall is moving to his left. Killorn gets it and goes back to the right. And that's when Wall is able to stretch that right pad and right leg flat onto the ice towards the far post and keep it out from Killorn, who was trying to tuck it around him.
Benoit getting it up for Lorenz on the right wing boards, but he was double teamed there as the Ducks pressed to keep the puck in and alive. Back into the corner again, now back to the net. Centering pass, good paddle down play made by Wall to redirect the pass, and the Leafs' fourth line gets it down into the offensive zone. Reeves into the zone, got a hit in against the boards. The puck comes up on the right side, and they'll get it out at center, but Reeves is there to secure it and send it back to his defense. Timmins on to Benoit. Ahead for Ryan Reeves. Reeves chips in, strides in there, trying to get a hit in on Cam Fowler. The puck goes free into the left wing corner, and the Ducks will get it up on the wing and now send it back to Fowler, who will get it ahead at center. Anaheim in on the right side. Lundestrom sent it into the corner. Tanev was able to block that. Chipped along the boards, but not out. Tanev gets another opportunity, and now McCabe gets it out at center ice for him as the Ducks go back into their own zone. Trouba. Long lead pass, broken up by Tanev on the right side. McCabe slides in there to free it up. Got it up on the wing for Domi. Domi gets it out. A foot race here, but Pontus Holmberg isn't going to win it. Trouba gets it back at center, and the Ducks get it into the Leaf end. Jensen Harkins against the boards, played down in along the wall, gobbled up by Toronto, fed around for Nylander, couldn't chip it by the pinching defense though. Ducks keep it in at the point. Gudas sends it in around back of the net. Ekman Larson ties his man up. Gudas trying to pinch to keep it in, but it is knocked free. Played in front of the goal, and a shot blocked in front of the net there by Morgan Riley. Ducks trying to work now with 6:17 to play in the period. Back to Gudas at the point. He goes D to D. Lacombe trying to play it in around back of the net. Near corner for Vetrano. Into the slot area, back to Vetrano. Vetrano working wide. Still with it. Leafs in a scramble mode, and down is Wall. And he's got the puck underneath him somewhere. If he'll just kind of edge his body out over that goal line. Oh, there it is there. All good. Face-off coming in the Toronto zone. 5:59 to play in the third, and the Ducks trying to press the attack here. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Face-off to the right of Joseph Wall, who has stood tall here in protecting a 3-2 Toronto lead. Puck against the boards. Marner had it in his skates. It comes back to the point. Kept in by Cam Fowler, who walks the line. Dished off on the wing. Shot blocked. It goes high in the air to the near side. And the Leafs trying to get it out, fail, but it goes back to the defenseman Tanev, and he's going to get it airmailed into the center ice area. Matthews gobbles up a loose puck. He had a man going to the front of the net. He gives it off to Marner. Back to Matthews, and a shot. And he whistled that one off a leg, and it went into the corner. Played high to center ice. Fowler gets it down into the Toronto zone. McCabe freed the puck up nicely for Tanev. Tanev works slowly to the blue line. Just flipped it out. Grabbed off again by Anaheim. Both teams trying to get a change going. Played up on the right wing side. Fabry will get it into the Leaf end. Played around back of the net. Domi after the loose puck. Punches it along the boards, and the Leafs are going to get it out. And Fraser Minten works to the line and in. Minten with a shot was just wide. Back of the net goes Pontus Holmberg. He is taken to the boards. Has it in his skates. Got it freed up for Minten. Minten looks in front. Pontus Holmberg comes wide. Back to the point it goes. Into the corner to Domi. Domi poking it along for Holmberg. Holmberg goes around back of the net. Pontus Holmberg dropping it back to the blue line. Back along the boards and back of the goal for Max Domi. Domi against the boards for Fraser Minten. Minten trying to drag it along. Poked it back towards the blue line. Got it back again. Minten gets it in front for Holmberg. Now to Domi who centers, and that was knocked away. Cleared out and down the ice, but icing waved off from the linesman. 4:13 to go, but a good shift there by Minten, Holmberg, and Domi.
The fourth line has had some pretty good moments in the game as well, Joe. They've spent far more time in the offensive zone than hemmed into their own.
Rattled around the boards and out into the center ice area for Anaheim. Left wing feed for Lacombe. Long shot off the pad of Wall, and the Leafs are going to play it out into the center ice area, but out of the reach of Tavares. Played back into neutral ice. Tanev pushing it to the blue line. Nylander is able to get it in and roll it into the corner and head to the bench. 3:35 left to play in the third. 3-2 Toronto. Gudas getting a little of the boo treatment and not go into the bench area. I thought Gudas has it again. And now here's the Ducks getting it in over the line. Left wing side for Killorn. Played around back of the net. Now off a stick it comes to the point. Kept in by Cam Fowler off his shin pad. And he has to go all the way back into his own zone, and Nyes is in pursuit. Fowler has to pull the brakes on to elude the forechecking and aggressive forechecking of Nyes. Puck now to the Toronto zone. Ekman Larson finds Morgan Riley in the near corner and quickly ahead off Domi, sticking into the offensive zone. Holmberg into the corner. Domi unable to trap it, and out come the Ducks again. Lacombe to the line. To the line and in on a delayed offside. Leafs have it in their own zone. Max Domi holding the puck off there with a long lead pass that is deflected into the offensive end of the rink by Pontus Holmberg. 2:24 to go. Ducks to center. We'll keep an eye on Lucas Dostal for you. Back of the net is Tanev to get it out. And going back to retrieve it now is Cam Fowler. Fowler up on the right side. Troy Terry shoots it in. Round on the boards, Nylander got it freed up, and out comes Tavares on the right wing. A pass on the left side for Pacioretty. He'll flip it in wide of the goal. Tavares got to it first. Tavares stick handling to the near half board, still with it. Rings the boards to find Pacioretty alone on the far half wall. Pacioretty holds, then took a shot that deflected into the corner. Tavares centers, coming to the net is Nylander, and trying to go to the top corner, lofted it over the net. How did that not end up in the screen?
Well, there was a delay. That must have gone straight up in the air.
I think, yeah.
But Dostal really sealed off the short side. I don't know if there was any room for Nylander there.
Minute and a half to go. Goaltender edging out, then decides better of it because the puck has come out at center ice. Ducks trying to backhand it in over the line. Leafs against the boards now, just want to get it out. They'll go D to D. They keep the goaltender in, and it's played out at center ice by Tanev. Now brought to the line, but not in. And the goaltender's still in the net. Minute 4 to go. Long shooting goes high over top of the Leaf goal. There he goes to the net. 6 attackers on the ice now for Anaheim. Tanev trying to get it out. Got it to Matthews. To Marner. Marner backhand blocked. Kept in at the point. Carlson lost it. Marner stick handling out. He's at center ice with the empty net. Plays it in. Oh, and it went wide to the far post. Nyes after it in the corner. It comes up on the wing with 34 seconds, and out come the Ducks once more. Terry hits the Leaf line with a shot, and Wall smothered that, and for just a split second, he thought, if I put this down and I get aim at that net, I could get my first NHL goal. And fortunately, that evaporated very quickly.
Well, if that was the thought process, the only person other than I that could make a dumber decision in a split second
would have been Joseph Wall.
Yeah, he would have broke my personal record for split second idiot moves, and this game could have been salted away. But it looked like Mitch Marner, Joe, was sort of in between. Do I get it to the net, or do I try to just saucer it so Matthew Nyes could skate into it?
Well, the one thing that he did do was get it to center ice.
Yeah.
Because he had it on his forehand around the Toronto blue line and would have had probably a better look at scoring into the empty net at that point.
But he's a right-handed shot down the left wing side, so knew there was pressure coming. And just as he got it to about the Anaheim blue line, just kind of tried to nudge it towards the empty cage, but I think part of that was maybe to have Matthew Nyes catch it first and knock it in. And both John Tavares and Austin Matthews out here. And it looks like Matthews is going to take the draw.
Face off in the circle to the left. And the draw scrum, but won by Anaheim. Back to the point. Lacombe on the right wing side. A shot. Big save made there by Wall. On a one-timer on the near side. As Vetrano let that go. 14 seconds left. The Leafs are pinning it up against the wall in the near corner. Good job by McCabe. It comes back on the board. Stolen by the Leafs. Out at center, and a shot to the empty net goes wide by Marner.
And it's icing.
And it's icing with 0.6 of a second left in the game.
And they're going to take a look at that. And I'm sure for Mitch Marner, he's thinking that's twice. First time they missed the empty net, and now, even though it's less than a second on the clock, if you just dump that off the right wing boards, the game is over.
Matthews will take the face off. And everybody just getting prepared to block a shot in case. Well, they got to have somebody behind him. Now they finally do. Here, Strome looking for the quick draw, but it doesn't happen. And in relief, Joseph Wall will pick up his 8th win of the season and go 7-1 in his last 8. And the Maple Leafs will hang on to a 3-2 victory in for the lack of better term, a workman-like performance.
Yeah, I think you would have liked it to be a little comfortable down the stretch in the third period. Leafs go up to make it 3-1 in the second. Ducks come back about a minute later to make it 3-2, and give Anaheim credit. Second of back-to-backs, 3 games in 4 nights. They were shellacked last night in Ottawa. And, once it was 3-1, you could easily see them sort of pack the tent and say, all right, we'll go get them in a couple of days when we're back out here. But they battled back and made a game of it. So I'm sure there's a lot of positives on the side for Greg Cronin.
Well, the other positive is the Leafs defense and forwards allowed just 5 shots on goal in the third period. So the whole idea this year, play better defensively, block shots, get good goaltending, and more you see this trend developing of being able to do just that. Yeah,
what they haven't been able to do is find the balance of last year's offense with the newfound defense, and a lot of it is the power play. But we see they just haven't been able to go into games and handle a team 5-1, 6-1 on a consistent basis. And I think that balance, there's going to be a struggle finding that most of the season. I know we've brought it up before when the Florida Panthers under Paul Maurice, they went from the highest scoring team in the league the year before to now we've got to play different, and it was a struggle for them. But the end result was back-to-back trips to the Stanley Cup Finals.
And the end result is if you don't give up a lot, you don't have to score a lot. Well, tonight was a perfect example of that as the Leafs win it by a score of 3-2. Max Pacioretty has a big night. He has a pair of goals and an assist as the game's number 1 star. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.